Juices, Storage West, Savarino's Italian Deli and Market, and the Bulldog Bench. That's University of Redlands football action this Saturday afternoon at 12:45 for the pregame show, followed by kickoff at 1 o'clock. Live from Redlands on your home for Bulldog football, KMET 1490 AM.
That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. I'm Aaron Michael Sanchez. Good to have you on today's beautiful day. Wherever you're tuning in from, let us know on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Periscope TV, LinkedIn Live. And don't forget about Alexa. We also have the Alexa. Just say, Alexa, I want to listen to KMET 1490 AM. It will bring up the ability to listen via the TuneIn app. And if you ever miss any of our shows, you can always go to our website, KMET 1490 AM. I always recommend getting our app in the event that something doesn't work with video and or any one of our feeds, because sometimes that happens. I know there's a new Microsoft update. It looks like the update is good to go, although I know my computer didn't work as of this morning, and I thought, wait a minute, what's going on? Am I not going to be able to get on with Jesse? And sometimes that happens every now and then because of an update, and it messes all of our things up. So thankfully that didn't happen this day, but it might happen in your world, so let us know. Sometimes a new driver doesn't interact with another driver, and then all of a sudden like, wait, do I have to roll back? So hopefully it's not one of those. Jesse, what's going on over there with you?
Oh, I'm excited for so many reasons. I can't wait for this weekend.
Oh yeah, what's going to go on in this weekend, and should we plan for more?
Well, this weekend is mainly for me. It's for I'm gonna enter the pre-release tournament in a local card shop.
Ooh, for Magic?
Yes.
What?
Me and Casey are gonna enter a two-headed giant match. So we'll see how that plays out.
I want to play. Where are you going to be signing up
uh,
at?
I will be at the Top Keep. What's it called? It's like Top Keep Card Shop in Riverside.
Oh, really?
Top Deck Keep. That's what it's called.
Okay, I just want some credit really quick. Am I not the one that said, bring your lady and let's play Magic together in Pasadena at Odyssey Gaming?
I did. Now she likes to play Magic the Gathering, and now she can't get enough of it.
Even better. That's always. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes it is fun to be able to play with somebody else, and then be able to kind of. I'm not gonna lie. I always wanted that. I never really got that with any of my dates, to be honest. I'm still looking for that one that knows how to play Magic the Gathering, or can sit through it all and use their strategy mind. Because your lady got really tough all of a sudden. I remember when we played that other game. I don't remember what the name of it was. It was really quick. It was really fast, and all of a sudden she was beating all of us. I just don't remember what it was called. Like it started with an S. Do you remember?
No, I don't remember what it was called. I know she does, but yeah, no, she's sneaky. She remains quiet, and then she comes up from the back and just goes rah. So like the she does that. She's sneaky.
So that's cool. So you're gonna play head to head with her against others. Is that right?
Yes, they were having a bunch of like pre-release matches, so like there's singles, and on the last day is the two-headed giant match. So I thought it'd be cool to to join together and see what we can do.
Okay. Well, for those wondering what the heck we're talking about, right? There is you can download it for free, and you can actually play for free, right? Have you gotten her schooled on that as well? Because you don't have to spend money to actually use that, right?
No, you do not need money to play Magic the Gathering Arena, I believe it's called.
That's
Yeah,
really quick.
it does. She plays all the time, and she actually plays all the time, and she likes to just see what's like different strategies, and you know what? It's fun when you win. So you like it'll look like you're losing, but then you know what? You pull that one card, and you can make a giant comeback. So
Yeah, for
it's
those and
a
for
lot.
those that yeah, and for those that don't know, and I recommend this again for the kids, usually teenager and up, right? For the younger kids, I recommend Pokemon, right? Not Pokemon Go. That's different than this. It's basically a card game and more. Think chess, multiply it with fantasy, and then you get strategies for days. And if you haven't visited the card shop in your local area, you haven't really had that much fun. I will say it's a lot of fun, especially when you get to play with your family, your friends, and then they get to come up with special new ideas or tricks using certain cards. There's so many combinations to put in your red. There's green, there's blue, there's white. Colorless, green.
Yeah, there's so many different combinations in
blue.
Magic.
Yeah.
And you know what? You play how your style is. You know what? If you like the blue cards, make a deck that revolves around blue.
Yeah.
But as you play, you'll learn the style that you like to fight in those matches.
I'm not gonna lie. I've actually got some right here because what I want to do is, and there's a whole business for those of you that are like, the adults, and you're like, why do I want a business? Okay, because it's really is. Okay, so here's the great thing. Just think baseball cards back in the day, and basketball cards, like right, and multiply that by you know, a lot of money, okay, and this is usually
You know what? I've never entered a tournament, so this will actually be this will actually be my first one. So
what day are you going again?
I will be there on Sunday. I haven't picked what time. They have two tournament times, one at 2 and one at 6. So I'll probably end up going to the 2 p.m. one.
And what's this place called? I want to look it up. Maybe we could all join you in our area.
Top Deck Keep.
Top Deck Keep. Okay. Because you know what, people? Here's what I say, especially with your kids, right? If you got kids, I recommend it because it is a fun time with you and your family. Okay. If you get your kids involved in this, it uses their thinking mind, and if they use their thinking mind, I guarantee you their strategy mind will follow. Because when people play chess way back in the day, usually commanders or big military chiefs would like to play head on head against others just for the fun of it, but also to say, okay, let's play a game of chess, right? Whenever you think of Magneto and Professor X, you think, okay, how could two enemies get along, playing chess, and then just have some fun time, right? Because that's exactly what it is. But there's a move that makes a move that makes a move that makes a move, and there's got to be one winner. So who's going to make the best moves? Now multiply that with cards and then chance and then shuffling, and who has the better deck, because you get to organize your deck the way you want it. Back to the cards and why they're worth so much money. So certain cards allow you to do certain things or certain abilities, and they're rare. So they're known as very difficult to get. So people play all around the world, and I know because I wanted to promote this on my channel, and I did a couple of them like a few months back. I got some cool devices to be able to kind of sell things, and there's an app. It's called Whatnot. Great app, by the way. And you can make a lot of money really quick on Whatnot. And so you could play for fun. I know a few people actually, that just make their money on the side playing Magic the Gathering. They're known as little vendors, and they know the cards that they want to keep, and they're so good at the cards. I hate to go against them because they always win. And one is at the Odyssey Gaming in Pasadena, which again, they have all kinds of games. They got board games, they got card games, they got kids games like from all like different types, but all that use the strategy mind. And I say, if you don't like your kids playing video games all the time, this is a great alternative. It uses their thinking mind, it uses their strategy mind, and then some. So okay, so I'm gonna talk less about that and bring up the Facebook website. I'm gonna go ahead and like them actually on the air here, and then maybe we can go down, maybe we can promote them as well, right, Jesse? What do you think?
Yeah, that'd be cool. It's a cool place. They have tons of cards from Pokemon and Magic the Gathering. They sell Funko Pops. It's a cool little shop in Riverside.
Yeah.
So, but there was like Dungeons and Dragons and games like that. There was someone who was making fun of it one time in a message board that I was in. And so this one guy jumped in and he was like, just to let you know, a lot of military people like Navy SEALs and stuff, they play Dungeons and Dragons and games like this because what it does is it helps them with critical thinking
Yes, it does.
and stuff like that. So just because it's a game doesn't mean it's all just for kids.
Yep. I'm glad it's actually true. I've met a couple generals that don't play Pokemon or Magic the Gathering, but they actually play with actual. I kid you not. I don't know if this place has it, but like Warcraft, right? Or not? What are the ones that you saw where they play
Hammer.
Warhammer? Thank you. I always get those two mixed up. My bad. But look, and again, they have tournaments all the time for the little kids. Pokemon, I recommend. Start the kids off with Pokemon, and you'll be happy for days. I still see adults actually play Pokemon, the card game, and if you know how to play, I used to with my little cousin. He was so cute. Big shout out to him and his mom, obviously, Crystal Santos and Alexander McNally. He and I just play with the number system. Right? He was too young to read it, so we'd just be like, okay, we just play with our cards. My card's better than your card. Blah 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 blah. And then the other little guy, Liam was his name, and is his name, I should say. He and I would play as well, and I couldn't wait till one day. They get to be like 12 to 14 to 15 to be able to say, okay, let's go ahead and play a game of cards, right? Using Pokemon. Because it's kind of when it comes to regular card games, unless you play War, right? But it's so much better for the strategy mind. So that's my tip. I'm gonna stick to it. If you want to play any of these card games, go check it out. And they're in Riverside, by the way, the one that you're talking about. And they're really close by to our listening audience. So that's the good news. I go to the one in Pasadena because it's up the street from me, technically, because I live in the San Gabriel Valley area. But Jesse lives in Riverside near Moreno Valley, right?
Yeah, I moved, but yeah, I'm close to Moreno Valley.
Yeah. So if you want to visit them and you're not on Facebook, just go to Top Deck Keep. Okay, you go there. And it releases Innistrad releases November 19th. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, the new Magic the Gathering set is going to be released next week. So that's why this week is the pre-release tournaments.
Got it. Okay. Oh, then that's very important because then you get the cards ahead of time. You get to see them. They have so many different pre-releases. I've never seen so many Magic the Gathering come out like every other week or every other month. I don't even know how many. It's like 3 or 4 weeks in a row, right?
I think it's like every 2 to 3 months a new set comes out. So it's like, oh my God, stop.
Yeah, it's like, and then I don't know how to get ahead of it because these other kids, or I should say young adults, actually learn really quick. And I'm like, how do you learn so quick each card when they haven't even been out yet?
You'd be surprised. These young kids, when they're motivated and they're into something, they're in it.
Yeah, so I will say I do play for fun. I like to have fun, and I like to see if I can win. But I've only come in, I think, the highest and third place, and hopefully it's never the ones throwing the tournament because those are the ones that always win. I'm like, you little dogs, So I just hate it when I'm like, oh, you just play and you make money at it. I want to play and make money and then win. So anyway, but like I said, download the app. It's called Whatnot. We'll talk about it another time. I've talked about it a couple of times. It's for collectibles, Funko Pops, collectibles like all sorts. I'll show you a Funko Pop that I have here. It's actually Star Wars one, right? I rarely get these ever affect the one that I have, but this one called out to me. It's got, of course, the Mandalorian with Yoda, And I saw this at a 7-Eleven, and I said, "Oh my God, I need to get 100%." And so there you go. So I got that on purpose, and I said, you know what? Who doesn't love Mandalorian? Who doesn't love Yoda? And then some, right? Because Yoda, the Force, be with you. Okay, we're gonna take a quick little break. We'll be right back with more right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Standard time is here. That means shorter days and cooler nights that make you want to stay inside. Don't get caught in the cold. Franklin Mechanical Systems can do a preventative maintenance check on your heating unit to get it working right. For cleaning, repair, or a new installation, call them for a free estimate. Franklin Mechanical Systems, for all your residential and commercial heating and air conditioning needs. Call their Beaumont office at 951-845-1000. That's 951-845-1000, and stay warm today.
The Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Banning is distinctively suited for your travel time out of the car. Off the road, you'll find a courteous, welcoming staff in spacious rooms with desks, flat-screen HD TVs, and comfortable furnishings. Enjoy the complimentary breakfast buffet, high-speed internet, and fitness center and pool. The Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Banning, conveniently located off the I-10 near golf, gaming, and entertainment. For reservations and information, call 951-572-5500. That's 951-572-5500, or go online at hiebanning.com.
Mattress Brothers Overstock Mattress Sale. Just $3.99 for a foam-encased queen pillow top set. $3.99. Check out Mattress Brothers $3.99 Overstock Sale. Mattress Brothers at 120 West Redlands Boulevard in Redlands. The $3.99 Overstock Sale is on now. $3.99 for a foam-encased queen pillow top set. Mattress Brothers also has locations in Hemet, Riverside, and Palm Desert. The $3.99 queen pillow top sale on now.
Don't let insurance companies make decisions for you. Go to Pass Auto Center in Banning, your one-stop repair facility with full collision repair, auto maintenance, service, and an authorized smog center. You'll also find a full-service used car lot to fit every budget with the right vehicle for you. Trade-ins are accepted and they pay cash for your car. Pass Auto Center at 2609 West Ramsey in Banning, just off the I-10 freeway between Sunset and 22nd. Call 951-849-7878.
Hello, listeners. Christopher here from The Christopher Show. Hey, I want to talk to you a little bit about CBD. Now, CBD is not approved by the FDA as of yet. Myself, as well as millions of other people across the USA, have used it with help for pain, anxiety, sleep, and other conditions. Now, you know, all CBD products are not equal. It really matters on where you get the CBD from. Now, I suggest you get it from a qualified pharmacist, and I happen to know of one. It's at Your Pharmacy and Mobility Solutions in Beaumont, California. They only carry pharmaceutical-grade CBD products of the highest quality. So if you want the best, you go to Your Pharmacy and Mobility Solutions. Their staff is there to help you with all your CBD, pharmacy, and mobility needs. They're located at 1680 East 6th Street in Beaumont, California. Give them a call, 951-845-8252. Once again, it's Your Pharmacy Mobility Solutions in Beaumont, 951-845-8252. Once again, it's Your Pharmacy and Mobility Solutions in Beaumont, California, 951-845-8252.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. And if you're just joining us, I wish you a great morning, whatever you're doing. And if you missed our last conversation, you got to rewind on that. We're going to talk about Magic the Gathering for a little while, a little bit later, because I want to go to this really quick. I looked at a very interesting discussion yesterday, and I couldn't spend more than like an hour and a half on this, but I looked at something that evidently the nation's looking at, and it is the huge event that happened and erupted. And I think you missed it, Jesse, because you weren't watching, but you could always watch it on ABC News. Just go to ABC News, type that in, and you'll see the live streaming of the court event, I would say, of the year. Because the judge came out in a really weird way, and everybody's talking about it. And he attacked the prosecuting attorney almost as though he was defending the guy on the stand who was testifying or literally confessing to having murdered 3 individuals. And it was the weirdest moment for everybody. It was like power trip 101. It was the strangest thing. Jesse, did you see it?
No, I think I know what you're talking about, but I would need to read more into it because I remember people were talking about the judge. He was ripping into the prosecutor or something like that. And the judge was, you know what? People were saying, oh, he was defending Rittenhouse, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? Apparently the judge was just, you know what? He's following the law. And if the prosecutor's going against it, you know what? You got to smack him down.
No. You didn't see the whole exchange. I saw the whole exchange.
That's what, I need to see the whole thing.
Yeah, that's called hearsay because I think people didn't understand what was really going on. Here's the reality, okay? When somebody goes on the stand to actually say, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and speak up and I'm gonna claim certain things, you get to see firsthand either a guilty person, an innocent person, or a fake person, okay? And when I saw him break down, because I had to replay on some of the information, I saw this, and I'll call him a kid. He's 18 years old. Okay, I did feel sorry for him. I'm not going to lie. I'm like, what was in his head to make him want to kill these people, right? And he did so at a time where everybody was honestly just going crazy with stuff, right? So I will say, in his defense, do I wish that he had done this? No, of course not. All right, would I have wanted to defend him in some way, some fashion? Yes, but he very plainly admitted to having killed these three individuals with a gun that the prosecutor was trying to prove he had no right to have in the first place. That's already illegal possession, okay? But the guy was like, "Oh no, I'm a fireman too," and he's like, "Well, let's go back to that." Like, because he was like, oh, well, I kind of came to defend them because I was asked to defend them, and I had an AK-47 or AK-45, whatever they call it. And, you know, I kind of shot them because I was kind of, he was going with like a self-defense claim. 3 people? You have an AK-47? No, you're there to do some harm. Okay? Now, a prosecutor has the ability in a court system to go at the defensive person, right? Period, end of story, right? We've all seen enough movies to know that's a thing. But when the judge got heated and he went at the guy, he didn't even make sense when he did. And he did it when he sent away the jury. So the jury didn't even get to see this exchange. And I say, why not? And then the moment he brought in the jury, he all of a sudden was more composed. But you could see he was all flustered, but I felt it was almost like his ego was being stroked more than anything. It wasn't about him getting to the truth of it because nothing that he said made sense. And this is where legal people are like, what the heck is wrong with this judge? And I've seen judges do really weird stuff. And this judge was having a power trip of the ultimate moment where you go, this guy is just going at him for the wrong reason. You have the guy confessing to having murdered these 3 other, I'll call them victims. And instead of making it about the victims, he made it about the letter of the law, which actually had nothing to do with anything else. To which everybody's like, oh, shoot, this is going to be a mistrial. That's how crazy it got. And I will say they will get a mistrial or they will get a way to appeal a decision because there's already bias on the judge's part. He said several things that I said, oh, there's bias of the judge, period, end of story. He's already judged. But instead of looking at the victims and why they got shot in the first place, they're defending a murderer. Okay, if this kid gets let go under these things, I guarantee you he's going to kill somebody else down the line. He had illegal firearms, period, end of story. And the prosecutor had a hard time trying to get the people to understand this. And then this judge went at him in a way on something that he goes, well, that's just not right. And then, no, how dare you? No, don't tell me what to do. And he got so brazen that it's being called on every news article around the world. Okay? And I knew it the moment I saw it. I said, yep, he's showing his true colors. You show your true colors like that in court, you're forever going to be known as that judge. I guarantee you, I could see him retiring in about a year to a year and a half over this. He is not going to be respected by his peers anymore. I think he forgot that it was being broadcast online and over the air. I think he forgot. Because unfortunately, judges do this. And people that have been in court cases like this, they go, what is wrong with some judges? Because I've been in cases, helping, like, my little cousin's mom, get custody over her son over something really stupid. I'm like, what is going on with some of these judges in our LA court system? Now, this wasn't in LA, all right? And it gives some perspective and kind of less of me and what I think of this. I'm going to give you just the perspective of another journalist, okay? This is how it reads. Several heated exchanges between the Kenosha County Circuit Court judge and a prosecutor stunned viewers of the Kyle Rittenhouse homicide trial. And I want you to focus on that. It's a homicide trial. You have a murderer who admits to having a gun, and you're going at the one that's trying to put him behind bars for the right reason? He's already admitted that he killed them. He's just kind of changed it like he's a hero. Okay? Now stay with me. This is where it gets weird. It says here, it's kind of a scene not unusual for the specific judge, experts and attorneys said to the news agencies. So yeah, that's kind of him. Okay, that's the judge. Doesn't matter what case. Now hear me out. Judge Bruce Schroeder twice admonished Assistant District Attorney Thomas Binger for his line of questioning as Rittenhouse testified. While on the stand, Rittenhouse broke down in tears, explaining the events that took place in August 2020, where he fatally shot 2 people and wounded another. Now, I will say this. He broke down when his own defense attorney was asking him questions. He did not break down when the prosecutor was coming at him. Do you understand? That's called a planned conversation. And they coached him ahead of time to answer questions on the stand, right? That's why I think some people were like, he's crying, but is he really sorry? It doesn't seem like he is. To those who may not have heard of Schroeder until this week, it says this in the news article, or perhaps last month, when he reiterated his long-standing rule of not allowing prosecutors to refer to people as victims before juries in his courtroom, Wednesday's exchange with Binger may have come as a surprise. But to those who have worked with him, it emphasized his reputation. Aha! It's not just this court system. This guy, this judge, has a reputation, and he's being called out for it. Schroeder, the longest-serving active judge in Wisconsin, that's where this is taking place, Wisconsin's trial courts, is viewed as a tough jurist, the type of judge who's not afraid to make difficult decisions no matter the response. Now, you would say, okay, that's the kind of judge I want. Do you? According to William Lynch, a retired attorney who served on the board of the ACLU of Wisconsin at the time of Schroeder's ruling about ordering AIDS tests for sex workers in the 80s, it says he has a reputation for doing what he believes is the right thing and being an independent thinker. Now, twice during cross-examination, Schroeder asked the jury to leave the courtroom and then sharply admonished Binger for his line of questioning. That's what I saw. The first incident related to Binger's questions about Rittenhouse's post-arrest silence, a right solidified in the Fifth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. Schroeder said, quote, this problem is this is a grave constitutional violation for you to talk about the defendant's silence. You're right on the borderline, and you may be over, but it better stop. And he said it just like that. It was weird. The second admonishment related to questions about an incident 2 weeks before the shootings that Schroeder has said would not be permitted to come into evidence. Binger said he believed that incident was newly relevant to the case, but Schroeder criticized him for not asking permission first and affirmed the evidence would not be allowed. In other words, no, you have to go through me. You have to go through me. I was like, are you getting paid off or what the heck is going on here? Binger said he may have misunderstood Schroeder's ruling. Now, Binger said this. This is the prosecuting attorney. I thought your ruling was if the evidence in this case made that more relevant, you would admit it or at least consider its admittance. You know why he said that, Jesse?
Why is that?
Because if you turn down evidence over a stupid little technicality, that's called mistrial already. You have to accept the evidence. It's evidence. You can't overrule evidence like that the way he did it. Now, Schroeder responded to Binger in a very sharp tone. He says, don't get brazen with me. He said it just like that. But the jury wasn't in there. He says, you know very well that an attorney can't go into these types of areas when the judge has already ruled without asking outside the presence of the jury to do so. So don't give me that. I was like, is this about you and your reputation, or is this about the situation at hand? Now, civil rights attorney Ariva Martin said to a news agency, Ana Cabrera, on Wednesday that jurors are sizing up prosecutors and defense attorneys, so the lawyer's relationship with the judge matters. She said this, prosecutors and defense attorneys have to be very careful. You've got to be zealous in your advocacy for your case, but you cannot disrespect a court's ruling. I say stupid judges and stupid court. When it becomes about your ego, and this judge is all about his ego, it doesn't become about the facts of the trial. And that's called, you need to get replaced right here, right now. I would call and there is technically those that can overrule a judge. It's called the Supreme Court of Appeals Court. Okay? That's why they exist, for this reason. They're more level-headed than this guy, for sure. Laura Coates, who's a legal analyst, said, every prosecutor has taken their share of tongue lashings when it comes to a judge. And that's the problem. Is it about the court case, or is it about your own image as a judge? Some of these sit way too high on the judge seat instead of doing the right thing and being like, hey, we're trying to get through to the truth of this. Let's keep an independent mind thought, and let's just entertain the facts. And I get it. This is their life. They go in, they clock out. Right? But at the end of the day, why did you become a judge in the first place? Was it to get the guilty people innocent? It's very clear the line of question he was using was trying to get to the situation at hand. Where did this guy get this gun? Why did he get this illegal gun? Why did he have access to it? And why are we being okay that he got not only an illegal gun, he went out of his way to eventually kill 3 men. Now, when I put it that way, why would you bar any evidence? What about the families of those ones shot?
Good question. I don't know. Do we have their backstories? Are they good citizens, or are they criminals with felony charges on them?
Well, you know what? Let's come back with that evidence right after these messages. Shall we, Jesse?
Yes, we shall.
And if you know a judge like this, let's call that out, because I'm done with judges like this. I've seen too many. We'll be right back right after this.
Facing a criminal charge and the possibility of a jail sentence can be terrifying. Wallen and Claridge is here to help you. Call 877-466-5245. Our law firm has been successfully defending clients facing crimes for over 40 years. We have offices throughout Riverside and San Bernardino County. Call us at 877-466-5245. That is 877-4NO-JAIL for a free phone consultation. We will be there when you call.
For all you truck and RV enthusiasts, TruckWorks right here in Banning is your one-stop shop for the best diesel performance and overall truck and RV needs. Whether you're towing, racing, off-road, or just cruising around town, TruckWorks specializes in truck and RV service, maintenance, repair, and performance upgrades for every light and medium-duty truck manufacturer. Bring it down to Terry and the guys at TruckWorks. Call 951-922-4776 or visit their website at mydieseldown.com today.
KMET presents the Heart to Heart radio show every Thursday afternoon beginning at 4 p.m. Heart to Heart grapples with personal issues of addiction recovery, sex therapy, relationships, and trauma. With over 60 years of combined counseling experience, Dr. Mitra and Dr. Robert discuss lifestyles and treatments to help you cope and achieve the inner peace you may be seeking. The Heart to Heart radio show is here for you every Thursday afternoon beginning at 4 o'clock p.m.
Take KMET 1490 AM with you everywhere you go by downloading our free smartphone apps found on the KMET website, KMET1490am.com. You can also go to the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store on your phone to download the free app. Now you can listen live or play any of your favorite programmers' podcasts using your smartphone. Go to KMET1490am.com and download your free phone app today.
Who is the Atua Man? Can you imagine exploring spiritual consciousness through an exotic action-adventure story? The Atua Man is masterfully illuminated in this self-discovery novel by John Stevenson. Dive into the page-turning epic hero's journey, weaving together high action with spiritual revelation. Join the Atua Man and his colorful cohorts as they travel through the majestic Hawaii, the hidden mysteries of Polynesia, and the intrigue, starting with the mysterious healing that breeds chaos in London. This journey guides us through the trials of living in the material world, arriving into enlightened consciousness, perhaps glimpse into the fabric of creation. How is the Atua Man affected by the global healing ministry surrounding him? How does he navigate the complexities of love, forgiveness, life and death, wealth and power? Find out in John Stevenson's TheAtuaman.com, Apple Books, Amazon, Barnes & Noble.
That's right. Morning show here on ABC News Radio KMET 1490 AM. And if you're just joining us, we're talking about the what they're calling the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. And it's still actually taking place right now, actually. And look, Kyle Rittenhouse, who's actually 18, evidently his attorneys thought it best to put him on the stand. Okay, you only put people on the stand when A, you have nothing else to go on. B, you're trying to create some type of what's the word? Some type of story in order to kind of garner it's not the judge's ability to judge in this case. He just kind of overrules, sustains, and kind of navigates the situation, protecting people's amendments. I will say that. But at the rate that he's doing it, he's actually coming and not hearing the full story, I feel, of this confession, which is happening as we speak, actually. Okay, and what I mean by that is when you have a person who has killed already a couple of people, and I'm looking at the story. Let me bring up the story, okay? On August 25th, 2020, this was the year of last year, right? It's now what, November 11th, 2021? Hey, 11/11, yay. Rittenhouse drove from his home state of Illinois to a Black Lives Matter protest in Wisconsin. Now, if anybody remembers the Black Lives Matter protest, it got heated. There were fires. There was buildings being burned down. There was cars being burned down. There were all sorts of things going on, all right? So to this boy's credit, I will say it was a really, really weird time in Wisconsin, as it was here over in California, right, Jesse? So that's like here.
Yeah, really. And just so you know, I'm really biased toward rioters and stuff like that, and that's for one specific reason. My grandfather had a shoe store back in the days, and it was during the riots, I think in Watts and stuff. His shop was completely destroyed. Everything was stolen, destroyed, and he nearly lost his shop. So that's why whenever I see people rioting, not protesting, but just rioting and breaking buildings and stuff like that, my first instinct is to shoot them. So that's why I'm kind of biased towards all this stuff. So I need information.
Yeah, I would strike you as a bias, and but that's
it is what it is. It's just my history.
Okay,
yeah,
but that's okay. But Jesse, this is the important thing, and the prosecutor was trying to make under law. If you're going to shoot somebody, it should be self-defense.
Yeah, it should be.
Not because I told you this. I said, don't ever get in the middle of a situation like this. Sometimes your let's put it this way, your emotional mind might take over, and even I was kind of like I was like, oh, okay, I didn't know that. I wonder what that law is here in California, because you can shoot somebody for trespassing onto your property.
It was an AR-15.
Sorry?
It was an AR-15.
Oh, sorry. What's the difference?
One's Russian made, one's American.
Got it. Okay, I don't. All right. So
I don't know. They're different styles.
So let's hear this out, okay? Hundreds of people had taken to the streets to protest the police shooting of the 29-year-old black man, Jacob Blake, who was paralyzed from the waist down. Do you remember that?
Jacob Blake.
I know there were like 3 really big ones, but
you know what? I don't know. There were so many protests and so many the cops were killing so many people. I don't even remember what happened last year. It was so crazy.
It was bad, right? Now Rittenhouse, who was then 17, fatally shot Joseph Rosenbaum, who's 36, Anthony Huber, who's 26, and wounded Russ Kurtz, who's 27. Okay, so bear with me on this. The fact that he shot and killed 2 people and lived to see trial is a testament to the racial violence and inequality that people in Kenosha were protesting the day he went out there, and they're calling it, and this is their terminology, not mine, on USA Today, as a vigilante. He decided to come and play with real people's lives, okay? Now, he faces homicide and reckless endangerment charges and has pleaded not guilty, saying he acted in self-defense. That's his what he's saying, where he's going at. Now, if he is convicted, he could, although I don't think this judge is good at hand down that type of, he's not, he'll probably give him 8 years to life. He could get life in prison if convicted. And the question is, based on what he has said in the court case, is it under defense or not? And the reality is the answer is no. They didn't come at him. He shot them. And in the way that he shot them is very, very telling, including the type of bullets that he used. Now, in one testimony, he admitted to the prosecutor under the line of questioning, he knew exactly what type of bullets. And then he says, well, I don't really know what kind of bullets. And he used hunting bullets. Hunting bullets explode from the inside out. So when it connects it's a fatal blow, meant to kill technically wild bison. That's the type of bullet he was using. Okay, and if the prosecutor knew that, he would be like, why were you using a hunting gun to kill people? That's called shoot on command and kill them eventually. Okay, that isn't right. This was not a legal weapon, number one, for a 17-year-old to have in his possession, period, end of story. That's number one. Number two, it wasn't on his own property. It was in the public area. He went out of his way to go and find these people and shoot them. Number three, he said in his own defense he was a cadet of the firehouse center, right? But on his own social media, he has his big gun and he kind of lies a lot. And that's what the prosecutor was saying. You're lying, you're lying, you're lying. You're still lying. Because what the jury saw was this young boy kind of saying, no, I did the right thing. I'm a hero. That's what the defense is going with, okay? And that's just not right. Okay? Now, having said that, it's important for people to know that if something's going to happen and it happens in your own area or in your neck of the woods, you need to know the letter of the law. Do you remember those 2 brazen people that held those guns out in front of their property? And there was like this whole he said, she said, these people were just coming in, but they were, brandishing their guns in front of everybody and scaring everybody. And then there was a letter of the law on that. And then Trump said, I'm going to defend that. He never did, but whatever. You remember all that? This was during around that time.
I do remember those crazy people, and I love the memes that came out of it. But what they failed to do, what they did, which was a failure, was they pointed their guns at the crowd, which was a no-no. Everyone knows that if you have a gun, you don't point it at someone unless you're going to fire it. So obviously, I mean, it's okay having a gun, but you're not supposed to be pointing it.
If it's legal, Jesse, if it's legal, it's not okay to have a gun. If it's illegal, you can go to jail for brandishing a illegal firearm. Now, back to your point. You're not wrong. You're 100% correct, but they didn't kill anybody. This is a case where a young kid at 17 killed. Do you understand the difference? That's a huge difference.
Yeah, I know the difference, obviously. But it's just like, first off, he shouldn't have been there. I mean, he's defending some person's property that he shouldn't even be there in the first place. I mean, just mind your own business.
Yeah, mind your own business, right? Now, I will say he called out another friend, okay? He called out another friend. And I'm going to bring up this article. It's actually on CNN, okay? Kyle Rittenhouse's trial has begun. These are the 3 men he shot. Oh, never mind. It disappeared. I hate it when it does that. Hold on. It's trying to play the video. I don't want it to play the video. I want it to show his demeanor with the gun at 17. And the question is, if this kid was in your area, in your neck of the woods, and you were, would you feel safe in the area that you were in, no matter what? Now, I will say a lot of protesters didn't kill a lot of people. Sometimes they do. And that's when it's necessary for people to be protected, right? I get that. But if you're in legal firearm, using that to kill people around you. Now, man accused of shooting 3 people, 2 fatally, during a protest. Defense today, Kyle Rittenhouse, who was acting in self-defense lawyers. Okay. Last week, Kenosha County Circuit said the 3 men can potentially be referred to as rioters or looters during the trial. Bias, but reiterate his long-standing rule that attorneys not refer to them as victims. So, in other words, back to your point, he's already creating a bias by saying you can refer to them as rioters or looters, but you can't refer to them as victims. Okay, that's already a bias. They're individuals. Let's put it at that.
That's dumb.
Do you see how you're thinking? Yeah. Now, Rittenhouse is charged with felony homicide related to the killings of Huber and Rosenbaum and felony attempted homicide in connection with Grosskreutz injury. He is also charged with possession of a dangerous weapon while under the age of 18, which is a misdemeanor. He has pleaded not guilty, although he's very guilty on that. I would take a misdemeanor, 100%. A jury of 20 people, 11 women, and 9 men were selected Monday. Schroeder said Monday the group of 20 will be narrowed to 12 once deliberations begin. This is an old story. I wanted to get down to the bottom of it. On the night of August 25th, 2020, Kenosha's streets were filled with crowds protesting the police shooting of Jacob Blake, who was shot 7 times in the back and side by a Kenosha police officer who said he was trying to detain him. Okay? Now, of course, the people of the area are used to this sort of type of treatment, but it got called out. News media attention amplified it, right? And they were already on the back of other said killings as well, right? Remember the knee to the throat killing of that, and there was just a string of things. People were upset, they were mad, they were angry, and they were protesting, and some got out of hand. Now, here in the LA area, that happened in Santa Monica. They protested, they destroyed city blocks, they burned vehicles, but no one got killed. Now, during the demonstrations, Rittenhouse clashed with the crowd gathered near a car dealership, and Rosenbaum, who did not have a firearm, threw an object that appeared to be a plastic bag at him and missed, according to a criminal complaint filed last year. Rosenbaum and Rittenhouse moved across the parking lot, appeared to be close to each other, when loud bangs were suddenly heard, and Rosenbaum fell to the ground. That's according to the complaint. A reporter approached Rosenbaum, who was on the ground, and tried to render aid. As Rosenbaum lay on the ground, Rittenhouse made a call on his cell phone and said, "I just killed somebody," as he ran away. Okay? So he says, now he just killed somebody. Rosenbaum battled bipolar disorder and was homeless, according to the Washington Post, which reported he had been discharged from a hospital earlier in the day after a suicide attempt. Yikes. He had spent more than a decade in prison in Arizona after being convicted of sexual conduct with a minor. He was not part of the protesters, nor the groups of armed men who were there, according to the Post. He had briefly visited his fiancée after being discharged, to whom he proposed the previous winter in the middle of a busy sidewalk. It was just who he was, according to the Post. She said he'd make you laugh out of nowhere. Now, Rosenbaum's fiancée says he wasn't down there as a rioter or a looter. Why was he there? I have no answer. I ask myself that question every day. Now, a verified GoFundMe page raised more than $25,000 last year, said Rosenbaum, who had a daughter. Now, Anthony Huber was in the crowd of protesters with his girlfriend, was killed as Rittenhouse fled the scene of the shooting, according to the complaint. Huber had turned 26 4 days earlier, according to the obituary. Huber spotted the armed, this is one of the victims, I'll call him victims because I can, spotted the armed man in the crowded street, and he ran toward danger, his girlfriend, Hannah Giddings. Now, Hannah Giddings said, "He pushed me out of the way and ran off. I tried to grab him." She referred to what Huber had done as a heroic thing. In other words, he didn't want her being shot and or killed. Videos from the scene show Rittenhouse carrying an AR-15 style rifle, which looks like an AK-47, just for your visual minds out there going. Something. I'm just going to hold this up, and you guys can judge it in your own way, because I know everybody will think differently about this once they see this. Okay, this is the scene of somebody who is out there doing his own thing. That's the kid, 17 at the time. Now, A, it's not legally owned. B, he's not doing the right thing with it. And C, he looks official because he's backed up by a guy in front of him who also is acting like he's official, but he's not official either. Now, these people enter your area. Jesse, are you going to be okay with this guy going crazy all over nothing all of a sudden? Or over something? Or any such time?
What do you mean? If someone's just
And what
walking
if he kills you and you happen to be the other color?
I wouldn't be there. I would not be out in the street during those little riot times. So
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
I don't catch myself in these kind of situations. So
Good. This is why I say never get so heated to get into these situations, but these situations happen. Now, Gideon said her boyfriend launched at the armed individual to protect her and other people nearby. Okay, and just so you know, he's actually, I think he's white, yeah. Huber appeared to reach for Rittenhouse's gun with his hand while holding his skateboard in the other. As Huber tried to grab the gun, Rittenhouse pointed it at his body and fired one round, according to the complaint. Huber was seen staggering away and then fell to the ground, according to the complaint. He died from his gunshot wound. He was staggering away and then fell to the ground. So see, we have so much here. Like, and this is my point, man. This already, because if you show the pictures of these people and you understood something, then you would understand something about the victims. And victims need their day in court. Sometimes they're not. People forget lives were taken. Okay, you gotta be responsible at the end of the day. You just have to. Okay, this is Anthony Huber, by the way, one of the victims. Okay, and all of a sudden now everybody goes, oh. I go, be careful with that. But that's Anthony Huber, okay? Does that look like a vindictive guy? I'd say no. And if he was trying to save his girlfriend, I believe that is honestly somebody that is trying to save their girlfriend. But does that change the way you feel in this case? I certainly hope not. It's still a victim. And the other person had an illegal firearm. So let's stick to the facts of it all, okay? Let's not defend the obviously guilty. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. I'm Aaron Michael Sanchez. Don't put me in a courtroom with stupid judges. Seriously. Sometimes I wish I were in turn and be like, you know what? You're overruled. No, you're overruled. No, you're overruled. Do you want to put me in jail? Yeah, I do. Good. Let's do that. Let's extend this case more and pay for it more. It's ridiculous. All right, people, I'm out of time. Make it a great day. Whatever you do, remember, life is worth living. Live it well. All right, I'm going to keep you guys just for a minute because I want to speak on this because, you know, some people do not understand why this is so important to the legal system across the country. All right, and sorry, I froze him in time. No, I'm just kidding. He disconnected because he's got other shows. And if you want to follow along, just go ahead and do so. It's KMT 1490 AM. You'll see the next great guest as well in their great programming all throughout the day. There's always something to listen to that will get you smart, especially at 11 o'clock. If you want to get out of debt really quick, listen to Dave Ramsey, and he will help you with the steps that you need to do to get ahead of things. Now, going back to this conversation, because I have more to say on this. Huber was completely indescribable and stood by his beliefs and convictions, according to Giddings last year. Now, Giddings, his I would say almost future wife probably, said he was an incredibly intelligent person, literally the smartest person I've ever met. He knew exactly what was at risk for him chasing down somebody with a weapon. Right, now, I'm going to put, again, this victim picture up, okay? Because this, if you put this up and then you say, Judge, you're really going to allow that to happen the way you're going at it? I think you don't know enough about the victims. Huber was born and raised in Kenosha, according to Anand Swaminathan, an attorney for this family. Swaminathan said he loved Kenosha. In the years leading up to this event, he was making a good life, and he was having fun, and he was happy, and he was trying to do the most he could with himself. Huber struggled with mental health challenges when he was younger, and skateboarding was among the things that brought him the most joy. He had found a community of people in Kenosha who shared the same passion. Swaminathan said, it was something that brought him a lot of happiness, brought him a lot of peace. He had really fought to get himself to a healthy place. People who talk about Huber talk about a kid who wanted to help people. And I'm going to say this right here, right now. I guarantee you he saw the injustice in the area, and if he was there, he was speaking out for the right reason. Because there were a lot of groups, period, end of story. Whether they be African American, whether they be white, whether they be Asian, whether they be Latino, whether they be anything. When these type of things happen and police take matters in a really bad way in their own hands, and then they kill somebody and or maim them and or hurt like they did Shooting somebody 7 times in the back and leaving them paralyzed? Like, did you want them dead? What police officer can't just figure out shoot once and that's it? You don't need to shoot 7 times. Seriously. That's why I have a problem with certain police agencies, because if you were trained right, you would learn how to always stay good with your gun and learn to shoot, not to kill, but to maim. It's better to take somebody into custody maimed than killed, because then you can't prove what the heck happened in the first place. That's the reality. And if you're a good officer of the law, you don't make it to lieutenant and or captain by shooting people 8 times. You just don't. You learn how to shoot, and precisely. The women, ladies, know how to shoot precisely. They're very skilled in shooting. They rarely are ever called out for shooting more than once. They shoot once, and they usually shoot in the leg, because that's how narrow they get their shooting arm to do it. Now, you shoot to kill if they have a person that they're holding against somebody's will, okay? But everybody knew this was not that situation. They shot him in the back. You are not allowed to shoot somebody in the back. That's what you say. Turn around. Anyway, having said that, this was a year ago. Okay, I'm not re-enlivening protesting. And this is why I say don't protest and let it get out of hand, because these type of situations do occur. Because then there are people that take advantage of the situation. Called, well, I'm not going to call them what they're calling them. I will just say people that are opportunists of the situation, right? And or people that get mad and or mob mentality, right? That happens, right? We all know that. That's how fires start burning. That's how people start breaking into other said businesses. You're like, what does a business have to do with this? Okay, that's called taking it way too far. But that's called mob mentality, right? Let's take advantage of the situation. I can get something from Walmart and break in. Remember, we had a string of that happening last year. Target was getting ripped up. Businesses were being decimated. If you go down to Santa Monica here locally, you'll see the area is just not the same. Boarded up windows. We remember what happened last year. People lost their minds, right? Let's not lose our minds again. That's number one. Number two, if you have a firearm, it should be registered as legal. If it is not, and you kill somebody, there's a reason things are registered. People just don't understand. If there is a killing, people want to know who that gun belongs to, right? Now, there's a lot of illegal guns that are owned, period, end of story. This guy is saying he basically is a hero for having shot this man. I say no. According to this, they said his family feels like that nature in him is part of why he took the actions he did that night. He wanted to help. He wanted to stop this person. In a statement to local news station WITI a month after Hubert's killing, his family called him a hero. Yeah, I believe he was. If he got in the way to push away his girlfriend to not get shot, that's a hero in my book. So why is this other guy getting, defended by a judge who just cares about his own ego? You can't refer to them as victims, but you can refer to them as rioters and or looters. I have a feeling this guy wasn't a rioter or a looter. I have a feeling if he wanted to save his girlfriend, let's look at that fact. Let's look at the perspective of the victims. Or the ones who the guy killed. That's what I would say. Are these the ones that you killed? Yes. Okay. Well, and then I guarantee the judge. You can't use that K word. Nope. Oh, sorry. That you murdered. You can't use that M word. The ones that you shot and ending up dead. Can I use that? Are you getting brazen with me? Oh God, I'm trying to get through to the. Okay, question. I will rephrase. Did you shoot them and are they dead? Yes. Okay, thank you very much. That's all the actual attorney has to say. It's as simple as that, okay? Now, having said that, the statement said this: he was always quick to help friends, family, and neighbors in need, and so it was no surprise to us to learn, again, that the victim, because I can say that Anthony came to the aid of others on August 25th. While we miss him dearly and wish none of this had happened, we are very proud of him. A little too late, though. He's dead. So what do you think is happening to the families that say, we need some type of justice, at least, go away maybe for a couple years? I could see this family saying that. At least go away for a couple years. Maybe not life, but go away for a couple years. If you thought you were in the right, okay, I give you that. But you still took a human life from us. And somebody who was just trying to defend himself and or his lady. Now, you put it like that, I guarantee you this guy will get 8 years. period in a story. And that judge will say, shoot. This isn't a mistrial situation. It's clear, it's cut, and it's very, very dry. But too many words, too many this, that, and the other. Did the guy shoot him? He's already confessed to that. He's just trying to slant it to get sympathy from the jury. That's what we're here for, isn't it? That's what I would say. You know what? See, they can't throw you away for saying stuff like that. But they act like they can. And I say, don't ever let yourself get strong-armed by a judge to intimidate you. Never do that. Okay? Never do that. Huber's father filed a federal lawsuit in August 2021 accusing Kenosha authorities of deputizing the armed people who were patrolling the streets and conspiring with them, alleging their actions directly caused Huber's death. Oh, evidently that was happening. Yeah. The lawsuit claims defendants' open support of and coordination with the armed individuals in the minutes and hours before the shootings deprived Anthony Huber and the other protesters of the basic protections typically provided by police. It was a license for the armed individuals to wreak havoc and inflict injury. And again, they were armed for the wrong reason, okay? CNN has reached out to Kenosha Police, the city of Kenosha, and a representative of the county. The Kenosha County Sheriff's Department declined to comment. Now, Gage Grosskreutz, okay? Rittenhouse shot and injured Grosskreutz, who approached him shortly after Huber was shot. The criminal complaint alleged. Grosskreutz ducked to the ground when Huber was shot and took a step back. He put his hands in the air and then began to move toward Rittenhouse, who then fired one shot, hitting Grosskreutz in the arm, according to the complaint. Grosskreutz was holding a handgun, but had his hands up, according to the complaint. Oh, God. Grosskreutz ran away from the scene, screaming for a medic, according to the complaint. Grosskreutz said to Sarah Sidner in a September 2020 interview, he says, I think about the screams, about the gunshots. I think about everything all the time. This is something that either you let consume you or you need to become stronger because of it. Grosskreutz was wearing his paramedic hat at the time. Oh, so one was paramedic and the other said he was a fire engine guy. Boy, oh boy. He said his goal during the protest was to provide medical care to anyone who needed it. Now I'm going to throw up his photo as well. Okay? I'm going to put this one up. And seriously, and again, I'm just learning about this myself, so I'm intrigued just like the next person, okay? But the reality is, when you finalize all the situations here like this, you have to kind of go, what is going on? Now, this was in an interview, and again, this guy is a victim as well. All right, and this was in the interview that he had with CNN Sarah Sidner. Now, he said his goal during the protest was to provide medical care to anyone who needed it. He had trained as a paramedic before deciding to attend a liberal arts college in Wisconsin. Again, liberal arts college, I guarantee you he was there for the ones that, felt they were being wrongly wrongly seen as the wrong ones, right? He said, while my work as a paramedic was important in the community, I felt it was reactive. Somebody gets shot, somebody overdoses. I wanted to further my understanding of the world and further educate myself and then be on the proactive side. Stop people from getting shot, stop people from overdosing. Since the shooting, he had to undergo several surgeries and treatments. He said last year, I'm missing 90% of my bicep. Oh. He's never going to get that back, people. He's never going to get that back. He says, this has not been easy. Emotionally, physically, I'm in constant pain, like excruciating pain that just doesn't go away, both in my arm and in my heart. Last month, Grosskreutz sued the city and county of Kenosha and many of its officers, alleging Kenosha law enforcement officers and white nationalist militia persons discussed and coordinated strategy that led to the shooting. Aha, and there it is. Is that what's going on here? Is that what Kenosha is allowing? Is that what this judge is technically supporting in the end? Is that why he's letting his own ego get out of the way? I don't know, but I would ask questions about that. When you use the word white nationalist militia persons, there's a reason for that. And this is, come on guys, a white guy saying that. Think about it. The lawsuit said Grosskreutz had a tourniquet in his medic bag the night he was shot, but for his training as an EMT, Grosskreutz would have likely been Rittenhouse's third killing. Nonetheless, Grosskreuz's life has been changed immeasurably. Now, the news agencies reached out to the former police chief, the city of Kenosha, and its police department, and an attorney representing Kenosha city or county sheriff in the county said they plan to file a motion dismissing the case. Of course they do. Grosskreutz said while he was also armed during the night of the protest, he did not fire his weapon. He said, I was there to help people, not hurt people. That was called, now he, in a way, if he would have shot, would have been seen as a defender of the other guy, technically, but he didn't. A lot of people running around with guns. See what happens? All right, people, I know you're probably thinking, no, this guy's innocent. I mean, come on. If he's in my neck of the woods, oh, God, he's irresponsible as a kid, 17-year-old, who's acting like he has the official thing to do, when in reality he doesn't. And this is the problem with the county. You cannot help people that have illegal firearms get away with this type of thing. Otherwise, they'll get away with it forever. You see the other people in the background? All sorts of different types of people that are there, maybe protesting, maybe just there, and they're all kids. Yeah. Pretty sad state of affairs we find ourselves in. And then a judge acts like he's the man with the plan and then creates a problem for everybody because he himself knows the letter of the law. But in reality, he's just upset things did not go in his way. And I say, Judge, get a handle of yourself. If this is not the first time you've done this, well, it's definitely not going to be the last. And that's a problem for the people of Kenosha County. Okay? If you're a judge and you act like that, I say, boy, oh boy. One day when you have to face your maker, even the maker's going to say, what were you thinking? Yeah. What are you thinking, Judge? Are you there to defend the innocent or attack the guilty? Which is it? Well, no, yeah, exactly. What are you doing at the end of the day? Woo, boy. One day, some people going to get judged. Woo. Judges are probably going to be among the top, guaranteed. Because you can send a guilty person away or you can send an innocent person away. You just got to make sure the facts come out. That's what a true judge is supposed to do. Make sure the facts come out. Make sure things come out in the right way. And then let your ego go, okay? Let the facts stand as they may. Period. End story. I'm out of here, people. Make it a great day, whatever you do. Shout out to Algene and Kirsten, who says, yes, hunting bullet tears you up inside. You're right. I went with my dad, old boss, Mr. Pritchett, to hunting quails down in Georgia. Once I was sitting in the car watching in one shot, the quails or deer are down. That's it. Yeah, one shot. He took the wrong type of bullet. Okay, that's called a shoot to kill bullet. You do not take that if you're going to defend people's life. All right, regular bullets, okay. But that type, no. That's why the bicep was obliterated. And illegally owned, by the way. Yeah. Who sold that to him? Yeah, they should be charged as well. Anyway, all right. By the way, I'm totally for guns. I get self-defense. I got that. I say get one to defend yourself. I'm just not for going out there and murdering people just because you think it's okay. And the fact that he shot 3 people kind of dictates something else. That's not called a one-kill shot. That's called, why did you shoot at 3 different people? What made you think you had the right to do that? Nobody has that right. Okay? Not even police officers. All right, people, make it a great day. Whatever you do, remember, life is worth living. Live it well and be responsible out there. If you have a gun, just, be responsible. That's all I say. All right, bye-bye.